Today I am going to show you what it means when sometimes I use terminology as a farmer that I assume people know, but maybe they don't know what I'm talking about. I am going to tag a calf, but we're also going to do a whole bunch of other things with him too. So one of my big beautiful Bertram cows calved today, cow number 453, you can hear her in the background, and her beautiful son is standing just behind me. He's a little bit curious and not quite sure what I'm going to do with him right now. So the first thing that's really important that people need to understand about agriculture and the safety of our food product is that as farmers we are big on paperwork. We always believe in a paper trail. So today's calf is at a cow number 453. I've got a number of sheets here on my spreadsheet that have my listing of all my cows and their calves. So because we have a smaller herd, we can use this system. There's other systems people use. Basically my cows, their first digit is their year of birth. So this cow, her number is 453. I know she was born in 2014. So her calf is then we're gonna drop the 4. Her calf will be just number 53. It's really important that the cow and the calf have corresponding tag numbers, because if somebody gets sick in the field, you have to know what mom or what calf you need to bring so that you've got everybody together. Oh, he's getting a little antsy. Don't worry, buddy, it's your turn soon. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do some paperwork with our radio frequency identification tag. If you look up close and personal at that, it looks an awful lot like a big barcode. And that's kind of exactly what it is. So this number is going to go in this calf's ear, and for the sake of traceability, it's going to follow that calf around throughout the course of its life. And if anything ever were to be a concern with this animal when it's processed at some point in time, the processor, this number will follow this calf all the way through its lifetime. And it's a bull calf. We're going to make him a steer, and this number is going to follow him throughout his lifetime. So if, say, there was something flagged in the inspection process as this calf is harvested, this number would allow the processors and the inspectors and ultimately the Canadian Food Inspection Agency to come right back to my farm and trace the origin of any health problems or diseases. So most recently, one that we have been dealing with in the cattle industry was tuberculosis. So that's what this is all about. I'm going to take the corresponding number and I'm going to stick it here in my spreadsheet, because that way I know what calf was given what tag at this particular moment in time. Then in addition to that, here's the number tag, so we're going to put that on in just a minute. This, some of you may or may not know what this is for. Because it's a bull calf, we're going to turn him into a steer, because ultimately he's not going to go into the herd and reproduce. He's going to be harvested. This is basically a little burger seed. So we're going to put this on his testicles, and we are going to take away his ability to reproduce. And because of that, his body will put a whole bunch more energy into actually creating protein, which is ultimately what we're after. Then in addition to that, we're going to actually use a special nasal spray to treat this calf. I'm going to hold it up close. Maybe you can read some of the things that it treats. Essentially, this is for respiratory diseases. So calves can actually get a version of RSV, which any of us who have kids, we know that that's a concern for young babies, and other breathing infections and such. So what this does is gives their little immune system a kickstart. It makes it start working right away. Maybe some of you remember from a few years ago we had an inhalant that we could use for kids for the flu shot. Well, that's how this works. So he's not going to have to get a needle today. Instead, we're going to give him an inhalant. And right now I'm just mixing the vaccine. So it's a modified live vaccine. Maybe you can see a little tablet inside. I have a sterile solution here. I'm going to incorporate it right now with the dry little puck that's inside. And so now that activates it. It makes it a live vaccine. So we're going to give him just a little shot of a virus, just a little dose, that's going to activate his immune system and give it a good kickstart so that he starts looking after those respiratory needs. Respiratory disease in cattle is leading cause of loss, particularly at weaning time when they go into the feedlot. So we want to do everything we can to try and safeguard this guy's health now as an investment in the future. So right now I'm going to go catch him and I'm going to bring him over here.